The Beer Brothers is a comedy podcast where two dumb babies related by blood grew up and now review beers for you, the people. You can drink along if you'd like, but maybe don't do it in your car on the way to work. Drink responsibly. At home. In the dark.
Welcome to episode 31 of The Beer Brothers, Nashville's #1 beer podcast. I'm still calling it, even though it's not a real stat. Woo! Anyway.
Well, it might be real. We just are we don't know.
We're going to bring it to fruition, you know, just by saying it every episode until we are actually #1 in the market for Nashville beer. Today we're going to be, we're going to talk about some Lost Dutchmen. Have a special guest. I know you're like, what are you talking about?
Dutch who's?
Yes, some Deutsch people, and just lots of random things. So buckle in, get ready. Today is our special NPR coffee session. We are doing all coffee inspired ale, stouts, beers, whatever we got. So it's going to be a nice jittery episode. Here we go. I'm Cody.
I'm Micah.
This is the Beer Brothers. Let's go. Okay, I'm just going to... Well, I would jump right in. I don't want to do any shock and awe to you today.
Okay.
Because you've had enough. It's been a long... 31 episodes of me asking you really random questions for you to just spoof off of, It's kind of
a riff.
Just a riff off of.
It.
So... I just really want you to talk about your animal creations, though. Like those. You got a lot of lab rat things.
Those hybrids
going on.
that I made.
You've been making some like Kira or whatever those things are called.
Yeah. So around this time of year, I really like to mix up my animals to really freak the neighbors out when they come to trick or treat.
Mm-hmm.
They open the door and it's like, that's a dolphin dog.
Yep.
Is it barking or eeking?
The scariest one you made was like a cat squirrel. It was like, it kind of had a weird bigger upper body and then a lower. It was like the half of it was the cat, like the front end, and then the back end had the squirrel tail.
Yeah, and it had little legs, and it was very top heavy. It was kind of weird because that one time it stood up like on its hind two legs and it flexed. I was like, whoa!
But it had a nervous, cats are nervous, but it had the squirrel nervousness to it, which made it even worse.
Very hyper.
Very hyper.
It was bitey.
Lots of bites.
Lots of bites.
Lots of
My
scratches.
ankles were chewed to the bone.
Do you like how I just was like, no, we're not doing that today, and then
you just
threw you right back into it?
No, it's fine.
Okay, now let's get into this first boy.
Our first beer is from Mad Tree Brewing Company. There's a long pause there.
Mad Tree
Brewing Company. Mad Tree Brewing Company out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Mm-hmm. We have their coffee table blonde ale with coffee and lactose. And this is what their website says. I'm going to give you a smooth NPR coffee voice.
All these need to be NPR voiced.
Yes. Coffee table is perfect for reading a good book on the couch, in the living room, or enjoying a post-dinner drink with friends. It brings smooth, creamy, and coffee flavors that will make you feel at home, whether you actually are or not. This is a 23 on IBUs, 4.7 ABV, made with Cascade hops, 2-row Vienna C20, and Sarah Pils malts, and it has some lactose and deeper roots, La Armonia Hermosa coffee.
Wow, that sounds delightful.
Are you wet yet?
I'm most wet.
I'm sopping.
I have creamed my jeans. Just sopping wet.
My jeans are creamier than this ale.
Have you ever had cream cheese corn? Yeah. That's what
oh no. Too much. Stop it. So apparently on the can, it's got a little less information going on, but that's okay. It's got some extra things like, so Deeper Roots Coffee is, I guess, a neighbor to them there in Cincinnati, a local roast house that they paired with to do this beer. And this says coffee from a Guatemalan farm to your coffee table. So I guess that's where they get their beans for roasting from, is from Guatemala.
I was actually really shocked because it is a blonde ale, and it poured out, and he's like, coffee table. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting the flavor I got, which is like a really strong coffee flavor to it, and to not have that color or any of that. And I know a lot of times that comes from not actual coffee beans. It comes from the malts and certain notes. Sometimes it is coffee beans.
Yeah.
Should be. Anyway, but this thing is, it is very much coffee flavored. Nice honey golden blonde color. Had a great pour on it. When I poured it, it was like you could pour it slowly at the end, and it just kind of bubbled up like a cartoon beer,
Yeah,
the ones you see, like
exactly.
on our glass. Anyway, like the ones on our Beer Brothers glass. But
yeah.
love it.
Yes, this is delicious. You get all of the yumminess of like a creamy blonde ale, but then you have all of these coffee notes mixed in. It kind of reminds you of a watered down latte.
That's a bad way to describe it.
It's a bad way to say that, but I guess I'm trying to think of like the flavor profile, not necessarily, because like a watered down latte would be gross.
Yeah.
Would not be good.
Would you like a... You go to Starbucks, like, I want a latte, but can you put lots of water in
Like
it?
mostly water.
Yeah.
So
Like, I want the water and the coffee to separate, so it's like a film of water on top.
Can you just put some Swiss Miss and some hot water? Throw a little cocoa bean on there.
Yeah, dude, you can't say that.
No,
That's not
sorry.
a good description.
No, yeah, that was bad. That was my fault. I can't. It's just hard to pinpoint because it's not a type of coffee flavor you're used to in beers. Usually, you get those with like stouts and porters. That's normal. You're like, okay, there's coffee flavors in here. I can taste them. It's a part of the color and the flavor profile. It's normal. So this is a light ale with coffee notes. But it is. It's really creamy. Just really, it's easy to drink. It's really nice. This would almost be a better if you're not into heavy beers.
Absolutely.
This is kind of the alternative.
Yeah, you don't want that like overly thick kind of beer.
Yeah,
that a
if
porter or
you're
stout
like, I
gives you.
can't do stouts. I like coffee, but I can't do
Man.
a stout or a porter that has coffee in it. This is a good alternative for you. Sit by the fire,
Here's how your description should have gone. okay?
Yeah.
This is like sipping on an iced coffee.
There you go.
Pretty much. When you smell it, like if you had your eyes
there you
closed and you smelled this thing, it reeks of coffee, which is a great thing if you're going to have a coffee ale of sorts. And the taste is right on par with that. It's just, imagine a non-sugared, non-creamed. It does have a cream note.
Yeah,
but
there's
not
a little
like
bit of
cream,
lactose in
you know
there.
what I mean? Coffee. So it's pretty much like a black coffee in an ale that's blonde, and it's delicious.
Yeah. I had one of, not this one, I had a different one, the next one we're about to do the other day, and I will say once these kind of get room temperature, though, not as good, which most beer isn't. Some beers, though, they get to like a warmer temp, and you can...
Did you hear that?
I hear something in the background.
I don't know what's happening. We're at my house today.
I don't think it's on the... I don't think it's in the mics.
It's a kaleidoscope of sound at my house.
Yes,
you never
if you
know
hear,
what
if
you're
you
gonna
hear
have.
Carly Rae Jepsen in the background, it's probably the children
Yeah,
dancing
probably
through
Probably
the house
kids.
with pizza.
Yes. Okay, let's get into our first topic. We've been on
okay.
this for a minute.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Got distracted by the watery latte.
Yeah, by my terrible description because I don't know anything. So
Okay,
let's go.
have you heard about these freaking people that were convinced it was six people, like brothers, 6 siblings that were convinced that they were like in the end of times and were hiding out
Like apocalyptic?
like Impossible Kimmy Schmidt type shit. Which, if you don't know what that is, somebody dying? There's a dog dying outside. I don't.
Is it one of your dogs?
No, that didn't sound like my dog.
There's a dog
But-
next door that's sitting by its like screen door.
Oh, Precious? Yeah, that dog can go eat a dick because
Okay.
it is not Precious. It
Okay.
is an asshole.
Anytime you name a dog like Angel or Precious, it's the worst dog.
Anyway, okay, yeah. So, these 5 people had been convinced by an older man. They've been living in a basement for the last 10 years, and they thought, or they were being told that it was the end of the world, and so they've been living off their farm. Okay, 10 years ago, the oldest now today is 18. Or not the oldest. That's the youngest. The youngest is 18. The
Okay.
oldest is 25. The oldest. This is great. Okay. The oldest gets out. Which I don't know what this guy looks like. I just imagine a pumpkin pie, like, haircut. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
a grizzled look and overalls. And, I mean, okay, this is bad, but they're probably not listening. I think of a Mennonite, which, I mean, that's what I think of. Okay. Simple, like simple clothes, simple haircut, simple everything. And he escapes. They use the word escape in the article I saw, and it's been all over the place. And he goes to a bar.
Okay.
How many beers do you think that man ordered?
12.
No, it's less.
Less?
Yep.
6.
He ordered 5 beers.
Okay.
Which to me it's hilarious. He's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I need 5. I need 5 beers.
They're
Like,
going to catch me. I know the truth.
I know it. So what happens is he goes to a bar. He escapes the basement. The oldest does. He's 25. He goes to a nearby bar or pub or whatever it's referenced. I forget. Orders 5 beers. And obviously that's an odd order unless you're an alcoholic. Like you're just like, yep. I
It's
need 5.
also like you don't have an ID.
Probably not. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, it is in another country. I think it was Iceland.
Oh, okay. Maybe they have
Yeah.
different rules.
Well, in Europe you can be 12 and drink.
No.
Yeah, you can be 12 years old
I think
and
it's
drink
like
beer.
16. I think it's different from country to country. There
Germany's
are
12.
rules. It's not like there's just no rules over there.
There are no fucking rules in Germany, man. No, in Germany I'm pretty sure it's 12.
We're looking it up.
Okay, go ahead. Pretty sure it's 12 with the accompaniment of a parent or guardian.
16.
Fuck.
Told you.
Okay, well then look up. We argued about this earlier today. What's the time that you can buy beer in Tennessee on a Sunday?
I mean, I bought it before 12.
They were breaking the law. Look
No,
up
they
the
weren't.
law.
Yeah, they changed it like 2 years ago.
I know, but like grocery stores around here are still not up to date. Yes, if you're listening in another state, on Sunday, the preacher needs to be able to be sober, so they don't sell beer until 12, okay? On Sunday.
It says,
Or at least they used to. It might have changed.
this does say,
I'm just trying to be right.
yeah, it just says on Sunday, hours are from 10 a.m. till 3 a.m.
Okay, anyway, let's go back
10.
to
So you're wrong.
the topic
Again.
at hand.
You're wrong twice.
Okay, this guy orders 5 beers,
Okay.
5 of them,
Yeah.
which is a sign, and the bartender's like, he just does what bartenders do to a lonely fellow who comes in looking like a Mennonite and orders 5 beers and starts talking to him, and he's like, I have to escape. We can't keep living this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've been in a basement for the last 10 years and living off of things that we prepared. And he escapes. First of all, it is an insane story. I'm like, how? Why?
I feel like most bartenders are like, oh yeah, I hear you, man, and they're like just unaware.
Right.
They're just like, oh, God, another crazy one. Like, how drunk are you already? I'm not giving you 5 beers.
There's no way you've lived there for 10 years. So my thought, or here's the first thing I think of. One, I've never been in that situation, but to time jump, okay? Because that's what this person legitimately has just done. Is for 10 years, you've been isolated from society. You don't know what's going on. You don't know about the advancement in technology or society or cultural norms or whatever it may be. For you, if you think back to 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
me, it would have been, well, I would have been 24 at that point, which
Okay.
wasn't too far off. But hell, okay, this guy's 25, so he was 15,
Yeah.
right? So think back to your 15-year-old self. What's something that you would just be so shocked by that happens today if it was available when you were 15? Like at 15, you'd be like, I never would have thought this would be a thing.
Okay, so 15, that'd be 15 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think. That would be 2004.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, most technology at this point in time,
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking wild.
Just
the jump between 2004, where there was no smartphones.
to say, just to reference, the Razr cell phone was the big phone in 2004.
Yeah. So from that to like the newest iPhones and their crazy three camera system and touchscreens and everything, I'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? They have video games on my phone that look better than the graphics on this PS2 I've been playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. Like, most technology I feel like would shock you constantly. Like everywhere you look and there's a TV that's like razor thin, and you're like, what the? This is like a sci-fi film right now.
Well, in 2004, I think the big TVs were still they were still around. They were kind of relevant.
Yeah,
Like the
boxes.
that people
But like
can't
HD
get rid of
TVs
now.
were starting to come out.
Yeah, but they weren't like they are today.
But no, they were still kind of fat.
Right.
They were not.
Big time.
They were still heavy as hell.
My thing that I never would have imagined, when I was 14, 15, would be having arguments with my car about how to pronounce a name.
It's interesting.
Yes. Okay.
concept.
Yeah, because I change people's names based on just what whatever I want to call them for a while. So
Yeah.
Jimmy, I call Jamil. His name in my phone is actually Jamil Rayfon Gilly the Third. That is his name. And so for me to say, it used to be I could just say, I want you to call Jimmy, and then it would be like, all right. Now I try to say his name, which is frustrating. I'm like, I should change it back, and I never do. I just say, call Jamil Rayfon Gilly the 3RD, and it will do it.
The 3RD.
Yeah, it doesn't read the third.
Cars are dumb. Well, you should change it to literally the word the third, like THIRD instead
Third.
of 3RD.
Yeah, that's probably smart. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not the smartest guy, but
Anyways,
anyway, I still have to argue with my car on who I want to call, and it's not even if I want to call my friend Marshall, I'll say, call Marshall. That's it. Okay. And he goes, do you want to call Herschel Patel? I'm like, no, I didn't say anything about a Patel. I said Marshall. call him. So that's things I think about. It's like at 15, I would never have thought, one, that we'd have the technology to be able to just command our phones from our cars to do tasks. Because, Apple CarPlay, which I don't know if you have that or know what that is or seen it.
yeah.
But the Apple CarPlay is one of my favorite things because it makes your screen in your
pops
car
up
look just like your phone.
Yeah.
But you can also be like, text so-and-so. Like, think about it. We're telling a car to tell our phone to text a person for us.
That's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
That's a very roundabout. That's crazy. So I think outside of the technology, I think things that would blow my mind would be like Toys R Us closed permanently. What the hell? What the fuck is Amazon?
Oh, dude.
There'd be a lot of stuff where it's like, some of these things did exist in 2004. And, we had the internet was still a thing, all that stuff. But we didn't have the access to that information as quickly as we do now. Now it's instant. You have everything at the palm of your hand.
Right.
Like, anything you want to know, it's right there. If you want to know how wrong you are about the drinking age in Germany or the time that you're allowed to buy beer in Tennessee, it's right there. You know?
because in 2004, you would have been like, hold on, let me go inside and go to
let me go ask 'em.
AskJeeves.com.
Yeah. Let me pull up my computer, let me pull up my desktop and type in altavista.com.
AltaVista.
All right, our next beer, another coffee, because they all are, is from New Heights Brewing Company out of Nashville, Tennessee. This is their coffee and cream ale with coffee and vanilla. So this is basically, they have another delicious cream ale called the Nothing Fancy, and that is that beer with coffee notes. Let me just read their little can description. It pretty much says that, but let's just keep going. 1 second. It's hard to read. It's like silvery and...
Yeah.
reflective.
Sometimes the design is.
Yeah, I don't love the reflective cans. Anyways, Coffee and Cream, our nothing fancy cream ale brewed with vanilla beans and Trace Banderas, and an espresso blend from Costa Rica, Ethiopia, and El Salvador that was locally roasted. Shut the fuck up. I gotta start over.
Let me read this for you guys. Here we go. You ready? This Gavin from Brie. It's got a beer, and it's a coffee beer. Okay.
Okay, here, let's try this again. Let's try this again.
Ethiopia.
Okay.
Go.
Our nothing fancy cream ale brewed with vanilla beans and Trace Banderas, an espresso blend from Costa Rica, Ethiopia, and El Salvador that was locally roasted by our friends at Crema, which is a nice little coffee shop in downtown Nashville. This light coffee-forward cream ale is balanced with vanilla and is perfect for winter, yet light enough for summertime. So, we're at fall, right in between the two. This sits at 5.6% ABV, so a little bit higher.
5.6?
Yeah, and it's 20 on IBUs. Yeah, so I love the Nothing Fancy cream ale. It's like one of my favorite cream ales. Anytime I'm at Brothers Burgers in Berry Hill, I always get that.
Okay.
It's delicious. They always have it on tap there. But yeah, this is different though. This pours very hazy.
Mm-hmm.
You almost can't. You can barely see your fingers through it. It's kind of an interesting. Trying to get it.
Hazy honey color.
Yeah, it's like a hazy honey. That's a good way to put it. And it does have some sort of vanilla-y flavors, but the coffee flavor tastes a little fake.
I don't like it. I'm gonna be real with you, and it's like stale coffee. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
Mom left this coffee in the mug for the last 45 minutes, and now I'm drinking it.
Dude, that's exactly what it is. So when this is like very cold, the first couple sips, you're like, oh, okay, this isn't half bad. But you're right, the coffee flavor is stale. I think that's what I was saying. It kind of tastes
coffee.
like fake coffee flavor because it's stale coffee flavor.
Like Folgers in your cup.
Like when you have to reheat the same cup of coffee over 3 or 4 times and it gets this weird stale taste.
Yeah, this has been in the pot for a while.
Yeah, this has been sitting out all day, and you put it back in and added some cream to it to help.
Not
you're like, I'll drink it because this is all I have right now. I don't want to make another full pot.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, or maybe you're on a budget and you're like, you know what, I'm going to save this for tomorrow, and you pour it in a little jar and you put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
And the next day you drink it. That's kind of what this tastes like, and I hate, especially with it being a Nashville beer, I hate being a little negative on it, but it's,
it is a specialty batch.
It's a little stale. I'm not feeling the coffee. It's not like a, like if you have for instance, Folgers coffee versus like Crema espresso. Like for me, I would much rather have the Crema espresso.
True.
Than the Folgers coffee that's been sitting at Kroger for the last 45 days and hasn't been brewed in a while. Like that's
true.
Kind of what I'm getting. So it's not the best product that we've seen.
Yeah, I think that's a little harsh, but I don't think it's that bad. It is. This was the one I was talking about though. When this got a little warm the other day, I was drinking on this. It was not enjoyable anymore. Like I couldn't finish it. I had to throw the rest out. You have to drink this ice cold quickly, which is good if you want to get hammered on it. But it's a little sugary.
This is not a by the fire. We're gonna hang out a long time tonight.
Yeah,
drink it slow type of beer.
This is all I got left. Let's do it.
I mean,
it's not bad. It's not. It's drinkable. Okay, I feel like we're just really ripping into like questioning everything. I don't want to sound like I'm being.
It's fine. Just say what you think and let it roll.
No, I don't want it to sound like I'm saying like one thing and then I'm immediately
backtracking
on it. Because I'm not. I do. The first couple sips, you're like, okay, but then the more you taste it, it doesn't necessarily get any better, which is unfortunate. This is a specialty batch. It does say specialty batch number 4. This is like a small batch situation. This isn't something I think they do. Or maybe they do it differently every year. Maybe they change the notes. I'm not really sure.
Maybe.
But it's okay. That's what I'll say. It's
Fair.
okay. If I had to give it a number scale just to kind of help, I'd give it like maybe a 6 out of 10.
There haven't been many beers that we've had on here that are just like, it's undrinkable. You know?
Yeah, except for that one.
We've had two. St. Petersburg was
couple.
pretty undrinkable.
It's pretty bad.
The iceberg, whatever, iceberry
Yeah, the blueberry.
place, whatever. Yeah, Einstock's Burberry.
Billberry.
Billberry. Anyway,
It's me, Billberry.
Cracks me
Every
up.
time.
Those are two that rank among the worst that I've had. It's just a middle of the road.
Yeah, that's what I'm
just
saying.
got a
Like,
stale coffee.
6 out of 10. Nothing special.
I'll give it a 5, but that's fine.
Yeah, no, and that's fine. That's very fine. Just
all
like this
fine.
beer, it's fine.
It's just fine. All right, sorry guys.
Yeah.
Keep trying. We love you. All
Try
right,
again next. Maybe specialty batch number 5 will be the one.
that could be the one. Okay. Next up, we're gonna not clear the beers, but we're gonna bring in a special guest for this next segment.
Yes.
And I really hope you guys enjoy this.
This is our under 21 segment.
Under 12
segment.
under 12. It's
We're
gonna
gonna bring in a child.
Here we go. Bringing in the child. Let's go.
We've pulled a child from the street. Hey,
Get in here, boy.
let me go ask my dad. No, don't. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
All right, go ahead.
This got weird.
Okay, so here we are. I brought in a special guest because last episode, we gave a review of Nashville Nightmare. And I talked about taking my 11-year-old son with me there, and Micah was like, I think that was a mistake.
Yeah.
So today, I've brought in the very special guest of Brooks, who is my 11-year-old son, and we're going to let him kind of give us his take on the night and how it went and whatnot. So, Brooks, say hello to the world.
Hello.
Okay. That's all you got? You're just gonna hello. One thing. First of all, before we got to the to the haunted house.
Yeah.
This is his first haunted house ever, by the way. What was your initial thought of what it would be like? In the mic.
I'm gonna shit my pants.
Coming from left field.
Coming in hot.
Coming in
Like a hot shark.
Okay.
All right.
No, what did you think it would look like, be like what was, not using explicitives, please. What did you think the night was going to look like as far as going to the haunted house? Did you think, you tell us what you thought of.
Talk loud enough.
I was gonna lay on the floor of the haunted house and cry.
No, you're not answering the question. What did you think it would be like? Talking to the mic.
A very, very scary experience for my 11-year-old brain.
And this is Ira Glass.
Yeah. Oh, coming in strong. Here we go.
Oh, man. What was your favorite part of the night?
Just sitting in the car.
That was your favorite part of sitting in the car? Everything not haunted house related.
Yeah, just.
How did it feel to staple a $20 bill or a $5 bill to a man's chest?
That was not a fun experience. Very, shaking ground.
Shaking ground. I don't know what that means.
Very, very,
Traumatizing? Okay, there you go.
Oh, okay.
I get where he's still he's like peeing himself right now. Like every time I think about it, I pee a little.
Okay, you're going to have to shake the nerves. This is just like talking to us.
Yeah.
All you're doing is talking to us, but in a mic.
Yeah. I edit everything. So if you sound like a dork, I'll make you sound really cool.
Yeah.
That's not true, but
Yeah. Answer like you would if Micah was just asking you a question downstairs on the couch.
he'd go,
okay?
"Oh, okay, I don't know.
I mean, it's fine.
It was cool."
You wouldn't be like like that. That's not how you normally talk. So talk like yourself. Okay, I want you to tell me about the scariest part of the night.
That's hard. That's hard to narrow it down because that was probably everything. Everything.
He
Everything
sounds
in there.
scared right now.
Like,
Everything.
waiting in line, I was about to poop my pants.
What was the? So there was no. So you went into 3 of the 5, right?
He went into 5 of the 5.
Oh, I thought you said he stopped.
No, he started crying after the 3rd one.
Oh,
And we
okay.
forced him through.
I was very strong. Girl popped out and said, "I'll hold you," and I pushed back the whole crowd through the line, almost out of the haunted house.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So there wasn't one of the 5 that were scarier than the others.
I think the Twisted Fairy Tales.
Twisted Fairy Tales.
Rapunzel hanging from her hair, hung herself.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Just right as you walk in, you see Rapunzel just hanging himself. It's like screaming,
Okay.
like, ha, help me, ha.
So basically, all the things about your childhood ruined in one quick
Yes.
15 minutes.
Yes. very
Okay.
much.
What was there any part of any haunted house that you liked?
I gotta say the alien infection one.
There's an alien infection part?
It
Okay.
was like military grade everything, and then you just start seeing like these heads floating around with like cybernetic like eyeballs.
Oh, okay.
And then like a girl starts walking around and then she falls on the floor and just starts jerking like
Convulsing?
yes.
Okay.
Before you got there, in your mind, what did you think it was going to be like? Because I'd shown you some videos. I'd shown you some things that you said, oh, I've seen scarier than that. You gave me this kind of tough guy thing. So tell me in your head what you thought it was going to be and how it was different from what it actually was.
I thought it was gonna be like very non-traumatizing for a child. I actually saw about I think a 6-year-old kid in line
Okay.
with his parents. And the next thing I hear when he goes into the haunted house is just bloody
Murder
like,
screams.
Yes, he's just like.
So you thought, oh, well, he's 6. I'm almost twice his age. I'll be fine. And then that's not what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Pretty much.
pretty much. There you go. Do you think you'll ever do it again?
No, never.
Not anytime
no,
soon?
I would never take. Even if I was a grown up, I would never take my kids, or I would never go alone.
Well, he's been officially scarred forever.
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming on, Brooks.
All right, welcome back. Father of the Year here. You know, I don't feel too bad about Brooks going to the haunted house because I went to my first one at 11. And
Yeah.
it was at Opryland, and it was just as bad. I mean,
And
maybe not
I
as
turned out
bad.
pretty demented, so
I turned out, pretty fucked up. So, good time. Good time. All right, our next beer of the day is from Harpoon. It is their Dunkin' Coffee Porter. So this porter is our tribute to all the days that Dunkin' helped us fire up the brew kettle. Beloved Dunkin' Coffee brings robust, roasty notes to this balanced and smooth coffee porter. It has a classic porter taste with Dunkin' coffee. It's dark brown / black, aroma of espresso, dark chocolate. It has a roasty, malty, smooth finish. Are the tasting notes made in Boston, Massachusetts and Windsor, Vermont. Employee owned. Harpoon's Dunkin' Coffee Porter. I've already enjoyed a couple of these because I just bought it in a 6-pack, knowing that we were going to do a coffee episode. I was like, you know what? I'll just save 2. We'll have it for that. And I like this a lot more.
I mean,
than
it's
the
a
last.
pretty good. It's like a solid, coffee porter. You can't really. It's nothing insanely special, but I guess it's kind of like that's how Dunkin' is. Like Dunkin's just like it's coffee.
It's fair.
It's coffee. I mean, it gets the job done. That's kind of like Dunkin's whole.
America runs on coffee.
Yeah,
Or Dunkin', right?
Yeah, and Dunkin's not that bad, but I don't think like it's a special thing. So for me, it does just taste like a classic, pretty much even keel
Mm-hmm.
porter, like coffee porter. Nothing bad about it.
Nope.
Really, I don't have any negatives necessarily. It is just plain and simple, and I think that's kind of a lost art sometimes with craft beer is people try to overdo stuff.
Yeah.
Like our last beer, it was like almost like they were trying to overdo the coffee. They had that, it's like a triple blend of espressos. It's like, is that even fucking necessary in the beer? Are you gonna taste any of that stuff? No. So it is kind of nice that they just kept it simple. It's very roasty and malty. It's smooth. It's really good cold. Like this, we have it at like fridge temperature right now. It's really really nice. Very refreshing. I don't know. I have no complaints. It's a beautiful dark color.
I like your description of it, which is it's just kind of standard. Like it's not over the top. There's not a huge Like, it's a great coffee flavor.
Yeah, it's easy to drink. It's
Yeah.
very easy to drink.
Very easy to drink. I didn't mention it's a 6.0 on the ABVs,
Yeah.
so it's higher, and a 28 IBU. So it's got a little bit of bitterness to it, which
Yeah.
you want in a coffee porter, I would think.
Yeah, just a tad.
Just a tad, but this is, like you said, kind of a classic. It's like a classic good guy.
Yeah, basically, if somebody like came to me, I was like, "Hey, do you have any good suggestions for a coffee porter? Just something normal." I'm like, this is the one. This is your.
Here it is.
This one could be like you're in an experiment, like a testing. You always have a control. Yeah. This is almost your control.
Yeah. This
A
is
little
like
bit.
your standard white guy. Like, you know, like he's
Yeah.
got a polo on, he's got
This is
some khaki
Mike.
shorts.
This is Mike. He works in accounting.
Yeah.
He's a firm handshake and 2 kids.
There it
You know?
is. This is Mike.
This is Mike as a coffee beer.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're just looking for like like I said, middle of the road sort of, I want just the definition of a coffee porter, I think this would be a go-to.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of compare from there what all the other ones are in comparison. But I do think
funky.
that this is your control beer a little bit. So interesting.
Good job, Harpoon. I think
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed
good work
exactly
on
what they
this.
wanted to do, and it sounds like we're being harsh. We're not. We're just kind of like joking around like we always do. So, like I said, I don't really have any complaints about it. It's just standard, which is what they're accomplishing. It's kind of like Dunkin' in their coffee. It's just fucking coffee. It's Dunkin'.
I think, you know, another thing you pointed to was a lot of time with craft beer, it does feel like people are trying to press the boundary. Like, that's
Yeah.
what every craft beer is supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
When in all actuality, it's really like, hey, we're just trying to make really good shit with really good products.
Yeah.
That's usually the target. And this is that. It is a great product, a good standard with really good products. So,
Yeah.
anyway, good stuff. All right, here we go. This is going to be a fun question. I can't wait
Okay.
to hear what you got. Okay, I saw this on Reddit earlier, and I thought, that's a great question for the podcast.
Okay.
Okay. If you're on Reddit and, you know, I'd love to connect with you, whatever. My tag is older beer brother. That's mine.
Okay.
You could probably go for younger. I don't know if you got a tag on there already.
I don't have a tag on
Okay.
there.
I did pose a question. It didn't go anywhere. No one cared. They were like, fuck you. So anyway,
Who's this idiot?
yeah, who's this dummy? The question is, what screams I am insecure?
Truck nuts.
Dude, that's exactly what I thought immediately. I saw that question and all I thought was those stupid rubber ass truck nuts
Yeah,
that
dude.
go on the back of a pickup truck of like an F-350 to a guy that has no business owning an F-350.
He doesn't work in a lumber yard.
No, he's Mike from accounting.
Yeah. He is Mike from accounting.
I got this 350. I feel great about
Yeah.
myself. I can run anybody off the road.
Well, I had a midlife crisis today, so I got an F-350. It came with some free truck nuts. That was an easy sell for
the
me.
truck nuts.
Yeah.
What's something else? Something else that
Ah,
just
man, it's
screams
so
it.
easy for me to say like car stuff, like trucks, like really. And there's nothing wrong with having big trucks. Big trucks can be cool,
Mhm.
but they can also make you seem like a jackass. When you have like huge tires, every time you hit the gas, your car farts out black dust.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Yeah.
Those aren't things anybody is. You might think it's cool, but I guarantee you, everyone else on the road is like, "What an asshole!"
It's like, this is my truck's really cool, but my dad hates me. Like,
Yeah. We're not alienating anybody that has like a truck and that they're listening.
Jimmy owns
That-
a truck, and
that's
so I'm
true.
alienating him,
That's
and his
true.
dad loves him very much. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not worried
true.
about
And
it.
Jimmy's country is shit. So, you know, and down here you get it a lot, but then you have a lot of dudes down here that's like they graduated high school and then that's where they peaked, so they get a truck. You know, and some people, you know, they use it for a living and it's their work thing, like Jimmy, and it's normal, like to have it. So,
Yeah, the back of Jimmy's truck has like shitloads of drywall pieces that are broken in
Yeah.
it. Like that's like his truck is his work. Like,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
what it is. But also, this is just a note to anybody that owns a truck. And I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like anybody who owns a fucking truck always just like thinks they can just blow right through the interstate and fucking just like
Move out of my way.
yeah, I'm coming through. I bought this truck. I know it's $50,000,
Yeah.
but you're gonna have to move,
If you own a truck, break the mold. Don't be a dick.
please.
Change the narrative, please. I like trucks.
I just don't like the people that drive them.
One of my good friends, Ben, has a truck. Like he has like a nice.
Ask him. Does he drive like a douchebag? Is he like?
No,
just,
he doesn't. I've ridden with him. He drives pretty normal.
he's not like
It's
I'm
a-
just gonna get up on this guy until they move.
Yeah, they'll move. Trust me, I'm bigger than them. Other things that scream I'm insecure. Ed Hardy T-shirts.
Yeah, those kind of gone out. It went from Ed Hardy to
still-
Affliction.
All of that style.
The overly fashion jeans. Like those.
Oh, I know what you mean. Like metrosexual youth pastors.
Yes, yes. Our last beer of the day is brought to you by Oscar Blues Brewing Company out of Colorado, USA. They didn't say where, but that's okay.
Longmont.
Longmont, Colorado. This is their Hotbox Coffee Porter. It is. We had to do some digging because their site is down, or I'm not really sure what the heck's going on.
It's just
but
down AF.
it's down AF. Here we go. This porter is a 6.5 ABV with 30 IBUs. Is based on malt flavors of roasted nuts, creme brulee, cocoa, and caramel, extracted from English and German roasted and caramel malts. Hotbox Roasters then crashes the party and infuses potent, cold extracted coffee and Burundi and Ethiopian beans and deals out flavors and aromas of dark plums, chocolate, and hints of blueberry. I'm going to go ahead and say that Beer Advocate does not know how to use a period or a comma because
And they don't know
tons
what they're
of
talking
run-on.
about. They don't know what they're talking about.
Okay,
It's
great.
like it's most that I don't taste half the shit that they're fucking talking about.
What? I don't know any blueberry in this.
Yeah, there's zero blueberry in this fucking
So,
thing.
just so you know, this informational review right now, we're having to like piece it together.
Yeah.
It's a mystery. You got a mystery porter.
So we know one thing. We know that this is from Hotbox Coffee Roasters, and
Well, it's from Oscar Blues, and
Well,
Hotbox Coffee Roasters has
yes.
teamed up with them.
that's what I was.
On
That's
this,
what I was getting.
yes.
It's a cold brew coffee made by Hotbox, mixed with this 7 malt porter made by Oscar Blues. And Oscar Blues' head of brewing operations said that the malt bill highlights chocolate, fig, plum, espresso, burnt sugar, caramel, and marshmallow. But then it's designed that way so the porter's super sweet, but then you have this cold brew bitter coffee come in and cut down on all that sweetness
You know,
to make it like
Yeah.
an even, balanced flavor.
I get so their blueberry on Beer Advocate is probably that fig note.
Fig and plum.
Yeah, because I totally get that 96. I was like, no, there is something kind of a little fruity in it. And it's there. And now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, that's totally what that is. A fig, plum kind of feeling. There's something in there that's extra that's not just like
Yeah.
chocolate, coffee.
That guy, whoever that was, is just pulling shit out of their ass.
It's like us most of the time.
I mean, yeah, it literally is. It literally would be if like we tried to make up our like. This is why we let the brewers talk. So we don't know what the fuck we're talking about when we're trying to taste this stuff. I don't have that refined of a palate. Barely anyone
Hell
does.
no.
It's almost impossible
Hell
to catch
no.
every single thing that they put in these beers without a description, and that description helps us.
Well, speaking of that, your take on this beer, your taste, what are you getting from it? What do you like?
I like it. It's really smooth. It's not. I think kind of what they were going for is that it's a subtle flavor. You have a very sweet porter mixed with this bitter, cold brewed, cold extracted coffee. That made me like angry. Cold brewed coffee.
What? Cold
That's what
extracted?
the beer advocates say. Cold extracted coffee. It's called cold brew. Everyone knows
Technically,
this.
yeah. I mean, it's right. Both are right.
I know. I'm just saying. Quit trying to sound like you're smarter than you are when you can't use a fucking period. Anyways,
That makes no fucking sense.
They're like just sprinkling a comma here.
I know there's a list, so we should do commas.
That's like
at this
that's
point.
like when you're finishing making like a meal.
Yeah.
And you're like, this needs a garnish, and you just throw a little sprinkle of something on the top to make it look pretty. That's
I've
what.
got some romaine hearts.
Yes.
throw those in.
Got a little fresh parsley, just splash that on there. Now it's good to go.
I've had these olives from 3 years ago.
That
Put
bitch,
those in there.
That bitch is ready to roll.
Okay, sorry, that's our.
That was like the most grammar, and we fuck up stuff all the time. Where we're like grammar
so
policing
bad.
the shit out of people. I think it's just because sometimes Beer Advocate makes me mad. And that guy said it with such confidence, I would have believed it.
That's why. Oh yeah, I think just to go back on our motto of like, let's let the brewer tell us what we're supposed to be tasting because I have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Most of the time, and
Gotta
I'll
let
take
the
a
brewer.
guess, a stab. That's fine. We can take a gander at what it is, but I'd much rather than be like, yeah, it's fig and plum. Like, oh, that's what the fruit is, not boysenberry, bullberry. Anyway, so this, from my perspective, it's this might win the beer of the day for me. I'm not sure if this or Harpoons, but it's really tasty.
Yeah.
And it's like after you sip it and you just kind of like sit back and let it rest, after you've tasted it, it's all revealed. Like everything that you mentioned in the brewer's notes kind of come to life. It's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, there is fig in there. There is some marshmallow like things
Yeah.
going on. I taste the coffee. So from my perspective, it's not just well balanced. It's really flavorful, but it's kind of hidden.
It's like subtle, full flavor, which is rare to hit both of the. It sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not in this case. If you taste it and you find it and you try it, you'll know. It's like that's what it is.
like the ghosts in the Haunted Mansion at Disney World when they're like dancing down at the party. You're like, I know they're not really there, but they're there. Like that's what it's like. Anyway.
The dreams that I've had for years and years, but they've died off because I'm
those.
too old to accomplish them anymore. Like they're not there, but they're there. Like that.
This beer. They're dead dreams. No.
This beer is brewed with a fresh
Our
batch
reviews
of.
suck today.
This
we
beer-
really suck at this.
This beer is brewed with a fresh batch of dead dreams. Just in time for Halloween, the day of dead dreams.
Oh, dude. Okay, I gotta go back.
We gotta move on.
Yeah, we're good.
we gotta get
We've
to the
got
last
plenty
thing.
of content right
Yeah.
now. We'll get to this. This last one's whatever. Oh, I need to go get it so you can take a video of this thing working. But so last week we talked about terrible buys on the internet, right? Like things that you saw or no, on TV.
Yeah.
So Facebook has done a really good job of like marketing items, and a lot of times it's like Chinese items. So like, oh, it's coming from China, but it's a deal. It's like a hell of a deal. You're
Yeah.
like, oh shit. Like, yeah, I want that. So we bought a Roomba thing. Okay. And it's a mini Roomba. So it's like we have a regular guy that we bought here in a store.
Cleans
spent $300.
5 feet of space at a time.
Yeah, just about. And so we thought $10. I mean, there's red flags already all over this.
Yeah, there
thing.
really is.
It's coming from China. It's $10. It's a Roomba. I mean, if those don't scream, this is probably not going to fucking work. Then it's not going to work. So we buy it. I'm like, it's $10. I'll gamble $10 for maybe a potential second Roomba.
Mm-hmm.
And we realize that it's going to be smaller. Like it's 10-inch diameter. So it's about yay big.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a big boy. It's personal pizza. That's
Okay.
what it is.
A personal pizza. Gotcha.
Yeah, personal pizza. And
Like those ones you get at bowling alleys when
Yeah.
you're a kid. Or like,
like
the
4 slices.
It's the fun center.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fun center time.
Pizza Hut ones, yeah.
And so we get it in, okay? And I'm like, all right, sweet, I'll try it out. Because we were thinking we could use it in the
Catches
upstairs
fire
part.
at me.
That would be awesome if it had. I would have loved that. Anyway, like, this is hilarious.
We got screwed.
Anyway, as we thought we could use it on the carpet upstairs because the one
Yeah.
downstairs does all the hardwood and tile
Yeah,
and
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It sounds like I have a really fancy house. I don't. Anyway, like the hardwood, the mahogany. Stupid. And so I pull this thing out of the package and like, okay, it's little. It doesn't look like it works that great.
Okay.
I hit the start button on top. I pull the battery tab, like the little battery thing that keeps
Yeah.
it from draining the battery. Pull the battery tab. I hit start, and it's just like, and the little brushes that are underneath are barely moving. Okay, like barely. And
Yeah.
there's a little vacuum hole that all the stuff's supposed to go in. I'm like, oh, this is a piece of shit. Like immediately. And here's the thing, okay? I set it down. The whole thing of the Roomba is that it goes around and does all this shit for you. It's not fucking moving. The engine is like broken. Like the wheels are broken. And so it doesn't work. Yeah, so I open up the like mechanism in the back thinking like, okay, something's wrong, or maybe I didn't do something right. And the wheel section has one battery. It's a slot for 2 batteries. It's got one battery in it.
Okay.
So there's no other battery, and it's like a 3.7 volt battery.
Like a really weird specific thing?
It's like this big.
Oh
and then and I just thought, this would happen after I've talked about terrible buys, from
this is
something.
what you get.
This is what I fucking get.
Dude, I bought a thing like that once. Okay, so actually it's my favorite jacket, weirdly.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up being my favorite jacket, but is this nice kind of canvas brown jacket, light brown, okay? Had like a kind of old school look to it, really nice. This is a really nice jacket. It was like $70 after shipping and everything. It was on sale. I was like, man, dude, that's a really nice jacket. Like, you buy a jacket like that at like a department store, it might be $200. So I saw some reviews that were like, people were like, I got something, like, mine was way off on the sizing. I was like, whatever, I'll just order a large, hope for the best. And at the time, I was a little heavier, so a large fit normal.
At the time, I was eating a lot of burritos.
At the time, I was crushing a lot of quesadillas. And so I order it, a large jacket. Takes forever to get here. It finally gets here. Shipping from China. I get the jacket, and I open it up, and it says 2XL. But it doesn't look like a 2XL. So like, okay, whatever.
It's like a children's
No.
2XL?
So I put it on, and it fits like a medium. And at the time,
that was a little snug.
It was a little snug on me. I couldn't fit into it really well. I was like, God fucking damn it. So I reach out to their customer service. I respond in an email. I'm like, hey, what the fuck? I got this jacket. It said I ordered a large. It says 2XL. It fits like a medium. I need to, exchange this or to get this problem fixed or get refunded or so. I don't know. And they're like, okay, but you have to pay for the shipping back to the warehouse in China. And once it's there and we've registered that it's there, then we can send you another one. And it's going to be $70-something. I was like, that's more than the price of the fucking jacket just to send it back to you so you could potentially I was like, what the fuck ever. I keep it. I lost some weight. It fits great now. I like it. It does still have some issues here and there where I get a little frustrated that I even bought it.
Yeah.
Because, like, it has these little top shoulder flaps. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? Where there's, like, a button and a little strap.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are called. It's just kind of like a little accent, like a little flare or whatever.
It might have been for grenades at one point in the old time.
Yeah, exactly.
War scenario.
Yeah. So one of those, the button thing just completely comes like out of the hole it's sewn into. It comes apart. It won't stay together. I end up having to fucking like manufacture MacGyver this thing back together and use like Gorilla Glue. I've got it fixed. It doesn't come apart anymore. It looks like fine. You could never tell. Then there's like parts on the. It's like, oh, this is a pocket, and you lift up the flap, and it's just a flap to make it look like there's a pocket. There's no pocket. On the other side, there's the same thing. There's a zipper. You're like, oh, I can unzip this. It's a pocket. It's literally just a zipper. You unzip it, and there's nothing underneath. It doesn't make any sense. I like the jacket. It does have a cool like inside pocket. It's got 2 normal pockets. Everything else about it is just for show. Fits very comfortably now, very warm. But it was like I couldn't wear it for almost a year. Jeez. I was so frustrated.
I don't know what we've been doing this whole time, but it's time that we change and we create a new business.
Okay.
Here
new
it
business
is.
model. Yeah.
This is it. You ready? We're going to go to like Walmarts and the Targets of the world, and we're going to buy their clearance shit, okay? In the children's aisle, because it's always cheaper to buy children's clothes, okay?
Yeah.
Then we're going to create a cool website of a clothing company,
okay?
Right? And we're going to get some stock photos of things that look close to the items that we buy in those places, All right.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to charge 4 times the price of what we bought it for. So if we bought it for $10, it's now $40. Okay. And then the people are going to order it. They're going to order whatever size, but we only have one size because that's all we bought. You know, like we bought an extra large. They might order a small. And we're going to be like, okay, it's shipping to you in 4 weeks. It's coming from China. And then we send it to China. And then
Wait, why would we actually send it to China?
just to say, you know, we were legit.
We just put no return address on it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so we send it direct to them 4 weeks later in whatever size that we bought it in, no matter what their order says. And then when they try to return it, we charge them $70 to return it. That's what we should do.
You would get sued so fucking hard.
Why didn't you sue them? Because you gave up. You were like, nah, that's too much fucking work.
Because I just decided to lose weight and wear the jacket.
That's what I'm saying. Most people are going to be like, ah, shit, I shouldn't have ordered it from China. You
But
know?
that one guy that sues you, then it's a class action and you're fucked.
Don't shit on my dreams, man.
I'm
all
just
right?
saying,
I just had a
man.
great business model of how to screw a lot of people out of money.
There's our new business. WeScrewYou.com. Don't go there. It's probably porn.
LLC. So all you can actually sue is the business, not me personally, which the business is going to be a total facade. So there's no...
And for those
There's
of you
no
who don't-
money there.
For those of you who don't know what LLC stands for,
Limited liability company.
yes,
That's
it stands for Lemon Legs.
Lululemon
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah, Lululemon clothing.
That's it.
That's
Sue
what
them.
it sells for. Sue Lululemon, not us.
All right. Okay. Beer of the day. Let's go. What is the best coffee, ale, porter, stout, whatever we had today?
I really liked the first one from Mad Tree. They did a really good job of doing a light beer with a coffee taste. So I like that alternative.
Actually, we did 2 different types. So we did 2 ales
Yeah.
that were blonde in color, and then
Yeah.
2 porters.
Yes.
So we could decide what we like better of the 2.
Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say between the 2 of each, I like the Mad Tree
Yep.
coffee table of the 2 lighter ones.
Okay.
Of the 2 darker ones, I do like this Hot Box one more. Though the Harpoon did a great job of giving us a classic coffee porter. I think the Hot Box is just very easy to drink. It's really good.
I drank. I did not drink all of the Harpoon.
Yeah, and you
And
downed
I
the
drank
shit out of the
all
Hot
of the
Box.
hot box because it was that tasty. I am totally on board with your rating. The Mad Tree was the better of the 2.
So
Yeah,
I would say
the Hot
fight
Box.
to the death. Hot Box's coffee porter versus the Mad Tree coffee table. I'm going to
going
go
Hot
with the
Box.
Hot Box because I feel like if I sit outside and I drink this throughout the night, I'm sipping on a cold night out by the fire, it makes the most sense to me as far as like a good fall coffee porter. Classic. But if you're someone who does not like heavy beers, but you want to try a little bit of coffee flavor in your cream ale, in your lighter blonde beer,
Sure.
go with the Mad Tree
Tree.
Brewing Coffee Table Blonde. It's really good. I give it a very close second. It was a 12-round judge's decision, split decision, but Hot Box won.
I completely agree. Unanimous decision. Hot box for the win.
It was a split decision.
Well, it was technically split, and then we were like,
There's
death
one
match.
other judge that we don't talk about. It's Randy. He sits in the corner of every episode.
He stares awkwardly
He
at
stares-
us and just kind of grins and
He
nods.
stares. He never blinks. His eyes are always red. He's
like,
sweating and
That's
he's
a good
crusty. And he says, "I like the other
He's
one."
in a tank top,
Yeah.
okay, all the time.
Tank
and
top
jorts.
and boxers. Button
Nope.
your flap, Randy.
Button. He can't handle it. Okay, all right. I totally agree. I think the hot box was probably the best of the day. The Mad Tree was definitely a close second. And I like the recommendation for those who are just not dark beer drinkers. So the Mad Tree is a great option if you like coffee but don't like dark beer. So outside of that, this has been a fun-filled fucking episode. All right, this has been the Beer Brothers. I'm Cody.
Micah.
Deuce.